All right. What's up, everybody? We are diving into a game where both players can see everything. You notice how this map looks illuminated? That's because we are in a mod and we have Special in the bottom left, one of the best Terrans in Mexico, up against one of the best Zergs in Mexico, and well, the best Zerg in Mexico, best Zerg in and best Terran. They are playing with full map vision. We have no idea what's going to happen. Neither player has any experience doing this. We have no idea who wins. Now, Cham said, I think Zerg's favored because I got Maphacks. He can't surprise me with anything. And I think in a normal game, that's right. But I also feel like what the players may be forgetting is that late game Terran is very good. And if you can see where the Zerg's coming from, they can't surprise you with Baneling run-bys or anything. Usually, if Terran's really well positioned, they can take fantastic fights. So there's an element of surprise, which makes Zerg so powerful that is going to be removed from this game. Notice Cham here already sends an Overlord across the map, and then he immediately turns it around because he's like, wait, I don't need Overlord scouts on the map. Special's a bit upset. He's like, dude, can I at least have the production tab? Because obviously, guys, the players cannot see the production tab like I can. He's like, dude, come on, man. I want to really feel like a map hacker. Before this game started, I was like, guys, have you ever played with this? Special was like, no, man. What the hell? I'm not a hacker. I've never done that. And I was like, didn't you get caught for hacking in Brood War? And he was like, no. He was like 13 at the time. He's like, they couldn't beat me, so they accused me of cheating. I don't know how real that is. Special's a massive troll. Either way, if he did cheat once when he was 12 in Brood War, it's a long time ago. This is going to be really interesting. If I click the racks, I can't see what you're doing. This is not entirely Maphacks. Of course it's not Maphacks. It's just no fog of war. They're clicking on each other's buildings right now to see what they can click on. Okay, so for me, this is a big puzzle, guys. Who's favored, Terran, Zerg? I think there's going to be, obviously, the player's going to be so new to this. They're not going to play it correctly. They're going to make huge mistakes. They're not going to play a super clean and perfect game. I do like that Special's gone for the low ground wall off. I think this is really smart. Like already Special showing his creativity, and I do think he's the more creative of the two players. Cham's a very standard player, but he's kind of like Sue-esque in that he's very much like he likes to crush with mid-game timings. So I think with their styles, this is going to favor Special, who's more of a late game expert and a cheeky expert and does lots of like very tricky technical builds. He does get a drone already with his Reaper. Cham does have a third base up on that left side. Of course, that drone was unable to hide there. Third command center goes down for Special behind this. Now, obviously, the one thing is we would not do this in a big way, right? By the way, we're going to play a best of 3 to see how this goes. This would not be fun competitively, like long term, because people are just going to be encouraged to play really defensive and macro up because you're going to see attacks coming well before they do. So I think when you go to attack on this mode, you almost want to like show an attack and then not overcommit to it. You just kind of move across the map, pull back, and take more bases, and drone up. But towing that line is going to be so fascinating because it feels like rather than moving across the map to attack, players are going to be encouraged to just take another base and defend and get tanks and go for ghosts and go for broodlords and infestors and vipers. And I really wonder if you have full vision, who's favored there? Because normally Terran has scan in late game fights, which is a big advantage because they see everything a lot better than the Zerg, where as long as the Terran's like killing changelings and this sort of stuff. But in this particular scenario, I don't know if that's going to be the case, guys. Like, because the scan won't give an advantage. I feel like if Cham is a good Broodlord Infestor player, he might be able to just take it down and kick some ass, man. Hellions and Reapers are going to come on around. The Queen is going to be there. The Reapers and the Hellions looking for those snipes on the tumors. This is kind of funny. I'm like, who's more favored? The Terran who can see where the Queens are and avoid them with mobility, or the Zerg who can always see where the Hellions are coming from and move to intercept? Behind this, Special's going straight to 2 barracks. Starport will swap onto the reactor, so he's going to go into a quick double medevac marine play. Double Evo chamber for Cham. I think the perfect choice. Quick upgrades, lots of economy is going to be absolutely key. Does kill one Zergling. Nice volley there for Special. Second gas is up in the main base. And this, for those who are wondering, is part of my Pigs Laboratory show. So Pigs Laboratory is a show we sometimes do. We're doing it during my subathon live right now. You can see we've got that power hour giving people double time in that top right of the screen. Basically, I just want to see what the shit happens when pro gamers are forced into really weird scenarios. I want to see how they adapt. I want to see how broken it is. This is not about creating the most fair, balanced match. If we did that, guys, we'd play a best of 21 on Overgrowth, Terran versus Zerg every game to see who's the superior player. This is not that. Now, obviously, I'm very curious to see who's better at adapting to the chaos and really using their big brain to take advantage of this vision. But I'm also curious to see like who's more favored in the late game or who's better at the late game micro out of the two players and can take advantage of the vision. You know, who's going to make a big misstep and throw their army away, committing to an attack, which the opponent saw coming minutes ahead of time, was completely ready for. Let's watch this, by the way, from Cham's camera, guys. I want to see how much is Cham looking through the, I would normally say through the fog of war, but across the map at what Special's doing. Is it just once every like minute or two to just check, hey, are there any big variations from the norm? See, he monitors where the Hellions there, spreading creep, he's macroing. He's like, oh, there's 2 Maphacks around. Okay, all right. He's like, okay, here come the Marines. He's like, I kind of want to stop them unloading with the Lings, but there's Hellions out, so I can't really chase them off creep. So he's gathering up his forces here. And here we go. Let's go back to everyone's camera for now, guys. There are a few queens in the main, so he's trying to stop the rotate in there. Plenty of Zerglings, but with the Hellions behind, they could add some big splashies for sure. Mass Lings around for the whole. Interesting way of defending this from Cham. He's only played 6 queens, and this is actually a Cham special. Cham, just like Sue, doesn't build a lot of queens. He's one of the lowest queen top pro gamer players, and you might think that's bad, and I recently have done this speech a few times, so you might have heard it before. It's not bad if you get away with it. Cham and Sue both get away with it almost every game. They are experts at getting through the early game with like a medium number of queens and then just having more drones and more units. But man, Special pulls into a corner and says, welcome to Dicktown, Cham. Cham's 1-1, not quite finished. A very good trade for Special there. But as he loses a few units, it does end up not too far in his favor. Still 6 queens are alive. Only, actually, not a single queen died, so good micro by Cham. Up to 78 drones, 2 2s on the way, Baneling speed. Remember, Cham said he felt he would be favored in this sort of gameplay. Special's playing a pretty standard, if kind of defensive style, I guess. He's going for the second factory. That's up on the 3rd with the tech lab, so we can add drilling claws, more widow mines, this sort of stuff. He's clearing creep on both sides of the map. He's got a 4th command center on the way. Only thing he's missing is his next 3 barracks to keep on producing lots of marauders and then eventually ghosts. But widow mine drops are not something we're seeing, and that makes perfect sense, right? Widow mine drops are just not going to be that effective. I almost feel like sending empty Maphacks around is going to be way more effective in this sort of game, because it's not like the Zerg's going to notice if you loaded it or not. And if there's a Maphacks flying around here, that you're just going to be like, oh, that's a widow mine drop, or that's an 8 marine drop. So I kind of feel like Special could go 300 IQ and just basically send random empty Maphacks around the map on queued up paths that he's not even paying attention to drain his opponent's attention. Good widow mine hits, gets a cancel on the 5th base. Cham does immediately rebuild, but he doesn't have the numbers to keep that up right now. Yes, he was up to 80 workers before, but of course building structures, trying to get the Hydras, the Hive, the double macro hatch in the main. Cham, I think he's a big Dark fan, just like I am. Dark, a player that might not be the most efficient player, and that's kind of why he's perfect to learn from sometimes. Oh, good Baneling hits there, but the widow mines. Uh-oh, the widow mines! The widow mines! Watch out! Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Widow mines are firing on those Zerglings, seeing exactly what goes on. And here we go. Lings and Banes are hanging out. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Okay, good spready, but the widow mine didn't fire. There we go. Good spreadies by Cham, though. Cham, he's defending quite well. He's going to make it to Hive. Who's ahead in this scenario? The 3 barracks are coming up, but still no ghosts. The creep is pretty far back, so I gotta say, Special's done a really good job of controlling the map and getting in there. You know what's kind of wild, guys? This feels like a pretty standard Zerg versus Terran because it's such a mechanical matchup. I feel like Zerg versus Protoss, there's a lot more mind games that go on, and we're more likely to see the players get really confused and the game get weird, or really greedy versus each other and just like rush to late game. But because ZVT has so much mechanical ways of pulling each other's attention around, fighting for creep control, there's all of these things that incentivize you to fight for the map. That's actually going to be really big. Oh, that widow mine does get a decent shot off there. He doesn't have any overseers here, man. Where are his overseers? Another good widow mine shot. Setting off a Baneling there could kill 2 of those widow mines, but he's making overseers. He's got to bring them down. A little slow on that is Cham. Where's that overlord speed? Special's getting up towards a 5th base. He's got his 2-2 finishing. He's a little behind on the upgrades. Where's that Ghost Academy, man? I don't know if he has it. It looks like he's just basically biomine, parade, and Cham not really having a lot of creep. He's got to get lurkers out. He's got to get them out ASAP. He's going Adrenal. Oh, is he trying to play pure Lingbane Hydra? Oh, Cham does do this sometimes, but I think seeing that he's up against it, Special might be able to deal with that. Oh, man, those Widow Mines definitely hurt those Maphacks. Get out of there, Special. That was a pretty good fight for Cham, who's up on 88 workers. The Banelings are going to get rid of those guys as well. The drop on the left side being a bit of a nuisance. So are we going to see Vipers or... Oh, that Widow Mine! Oh, okay. Units lost tab is looking close to 2-1 for Special. Obviously, that's good. He's up about 20 supply, but he's not actually like marauding in an overwhelming Cham yet. Especially if Cham replenishes his creep spread, he'll be good. But Cham, not really replenishing his creep right now. He's focusing more on these fights on the front. Oh, the Widowmine does get dragged in. Double drop in the back of the natural. Queen is there. No spores anywhere, which I find a little surprising. I guess you're like, well, he knows there's spores, so they're not going to work. But I think like always just having a few spores peppered around is going to slow down drops against a player when you don't really have any Hydras out. But he's defending so well. Cham is a very, very good player, man. It's always incredible the way he's able to like just handle this. And I'm like, where are your queens? Where are your spores? Where are your Hydras? And he's like, Lingbane, adrenal glands. It's all I need. And he is pushing back Special, holding onto his side of the map pretty well. Special's still overall trading just fine. He's okay, but these Maphacks are now empty. They are getting pushed back. There's more Marines moving down that left side. That seems like a bit of an F2 or something like that. A few of those Marines are misrallying. This is the wrong part of town, lads. Lads, it's the wrong part of town. Okay, Lings are running down that right side as well. We've got the 3-3 on the way. Hydra movement speed as well. Big army on the right side though. And where are the Lurkers? The Lurkerdens only now finishing. I think Cham, with this Lingbane Hydra style, imagine a few Lurkers, it would just stall out the advance of Special completely. It would force him into the Ghost Tech. Then you can go back into the Lingbane Hydra. Skipping this tech, something that Cham tends to do. Is his style rock solid or is it not going to work? I'd say it seems to be working. He's holding onto his side of the map. Yes, Special has a 5th base. Special is adding libs. He's adding more command centers, so he's going to get towards the Iron Bank. It seems like this is a pretty even game so far. Yeah, it's a pretty efficient game for Special. That's kind of standard for Zerg versus Terran, especially with Lingbane play. The Queen is going to damage that medevac. It's dead supply. You almost want to leave it there. You don't even want to kill it. You're like, yeah, let that just waste 2 of his supply. So he has 1 less Marauder and a maxed out army. Lingbane run by comes in on the left side. There's 2 tanks there. If the Lings get on top of that, that'd be good, but the Bio will protect. They protect. Very, very good doggo bio. Lingbane, ooh, nice position with the Marauders up front though. No Widow Mines here, so you do have to be a little careful, especially with those Maphacks being so bruised, but only 2 Hydras there. And those Marines need to pick up. He's trying to, oh, Special. Oh, okay, it looks like just not quite enough numbers to chase him down. The Lurkers can easily burrow and secure that area. Marine drop on the left side, though. Special's just here in an all-out mechanical brawl with Cham. He's killing so many Banelings. Special's looking for that efficiency. Oh, 1 Hydra. There was like 3 Maphacks on Reddit points that were loaded up, but the units are distracting right now. Uh-oh, Cham, I think he's getting way too cost inefficient right now, chasing in like that. I wouldn't mind him sending a single Lurker down there to harass, but he's going to have to build up a bigger army. 3-3 is on the way. He's got Seismic Spines on the way. Adaptive Talons, that is the Lurker burrow speed, is already finished. The top left base did get defended here, but Special is absolutely relentless. Now, he's going to need to move some support forward to help with those Lurkers. Very well done, though, by Special. He actually managed to take out 2 Lurkers with Widow Mines. You're kidding me. And just 4 Lurkers on their own, not enough to hang on against this army. Oh, the Lingbane tries to roll on forward, but there's tanks here as well. If he can get rid of all the tanks and most of the Marines, this would be a very important hold for Cham. He's got a Lurker ran on that left side, I think it was, and it did get taken down up on 90 drones, but Cham's just getting run out of money, and it feels like Special here is grinding him down. He is holding the disc sander up to the face of Cham, and Cham's face is slowly having its features just shaved off it, man. He's turning him into a 0 definition, no cheekbones, no jawline, fucking weird-ass, creepy wax doll that's been melted down. Cham played a really good game, but I think Special now has finally cracked the 5th base, got on in there. Yes, that was a weird analogy, I know, guys, but I decided to keep going with it. Never give up, never surrender, whether in StarCraft or with your weird analogies. That is my motto. You should apply it. It's a good life lesson if you want to be considered weird and a social pariah. Marines and Marauders do come in, get 2 Queen Snipes. He can pick up and drop in the main. Now that he's cracked the front and he's got libs denying the top left, I mean, it's just a free-for-all for Special. He can dive in from every single side. Cham doesn't really have the numbers to defend him, or the Lurkers will come back, but one of them dies. The Lurker spines up the butts of those Marines, do tear some of them apart. Few Maphacks on the top left. Looks like the libs did get taken down by the Hydras. There's still a Marauder there, 8 Marines there. Special is going to F2 across the front with his Bio Ghost as well, and that's the good sort of F2. It's the I've got you on the ropes. Everyone, get in there! He's even killing Overlords in the back. It'll take a while before that results in a supply cap, but Cham does get overrun, and Special, with a very standard style, takes the first map. Guys, that is really fascinating. That was the most straightforward, just mechanical war. But I think what really cost is the fact that Special stayed on low tier tech, very late to Ghosts. But because Cham didn't go lurkers, I think that's why he had such a hard time. I think if he gets lurkers a little bit quicker, that's going to be really important. I think staying on the low tier units when your opponent can see everything you're doing gets you punished. Let's go to game 2. All right, everybody. That was a very back and forth match. But in the end, the power of those Widow Mines going off, helping out Mr. Special. Now, some people pointed out in the chat before the series started, and finally Special does type TV, so there we go, reveals the whole map, that Zerg already has map hacks. So this actually helps Terran way more than Zerg, because Zerg already normally has overlords and creep spread. So they just get to see the whole map. The Zerglings are free units. So it helps Terran more to see the map than Zerg. This is actually what I thought, where both players said initially, when I said, who does this favor? And they both said, oh, Zerg, for sure, because you're not going to be surprised by their attacks. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. In the normal thing, it's Terran attacking, and you got to deal with it. And if they can surprise you with the timing, you're not ready for it. But on the other hand, if the Terran knows exactly what the Zerg is doing, think about normally how hard it is to nail down exactly what a Zerg is doing. It's hard to get in there. Unless you get right into a base and see how many drones are on an expansion, you actually can't read into that. So there's this fascinating turnaround where the player's first inclination is like, oh, it'll help Zerg so much, man. Because they won't be surprised. I'm like, are they normally that surprised by stuff? Not that much. Terran is the one who normally has a massive lack of vision. Now, a lot of people say, oh, more vision will help. And I think they'll also say the same about it'll help Protoss over Terran. And it very well may. I actually think it's going to be the complete opposite. I think with full vision, Terran is going to be the most overpowered. And I think that is because Terran is the most hamstrung when it comes to natural sources of vision in the game, right? Now, he's going 2 Rax Reaper, which to me, that seems stupid. Because he's going to see where the Reapers are coming from. There's not that many ledges on this map. You got a ledge there. There's a ledge there, I guess, that you can jump up and down. Can you even jump up and down here? I feel like you can't because the doodad. I mean, you've got a nice ledge in the middle you can bounce around. Here, right? But I don't know. This seems like a wild choice by Special. Anyway, so that's my inclination. I don't actually know. This is, of course, all half-baked preemptive thoughts, but I do think Terran, with enough practice, would be the most favored on this, just because their units are naturally very good. Apparently, my sound was disabled. Sorry about that, guys. Make sure, there we go. Reaper is going to come on in. And can it get any kills? Apparently not. 2 Reapers here, 3 Reapers. Oh, is he building more Zerglings? Not yet. It looks like Cham's just droning. Oh, does lose a drone, though. I think that was a misclick there. And does chase the Reapers back for now. 3rd hatchery is still on the way. The Reaper count has stopped growing. It's just 3 Reapers into what I imagine will be a reactor and a tech lab. Special not really fighting any big damage or anything. Not really forcing a serious reaction. He now forces a few Zerglings out of Cham. Cham, though, has already got, I think, a pretty good position. He gets rid of one of the Reapers. A few of the Zerglings die. I mean, good micro. Don't get me wrong. Very good micro by Special, but I don't think he's going to get enough here. Look at this micro. Cham even does a spore trick, and he says, get out of my base, dickhead. Oh my god, 4 Zerglings, 1 drone for 2 Reapers. That's a great trade for the Zerg, guys. That's a great trade. You might be like, oh, it's not that much favored, but you got to remember he went to Barracks really early. He delayed his command center for that. So that's actually pretty huge. Now, he's going 3cc behind it. He can definitely come back, but that's going to be massive. Now, you do have cliff vision. People are pointing out in chat, so you guys can like shoot up the cliff and stuff. That is true. That's definitely something that is there. Tanks will be able to shoot further without having the spotters in front of them as well. That's actually really fascinating. I didn't think of that one. There's so many cool little things there, man. Alien Reaper coming on in. So there we go. 2 barracks production. We'll see a starport and a reactor go up there. So interesting. You can see that the SCV is ready to build the starport on 100 gas, reactor on 50 gas. There we go. 100 gas. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful play here by Special, who's up on 2 gases right now. Hellion Reaper would like a creep tumor snipe. He's going to go after the Zerglings. And there we go. Gets just 1 or 2 lings. And, ooh, almost gets the tumor. Does get a drone as well. And Cham, where are his queens at? Remember, Cham tends to play a very low queen style, and he hasn't connected his bases with creep just yet. You can see the tips are trying so hard to touch, guys. Like two people who are so lonely, but they're just a bit too afraid to actually properly embrace. You know, when you both have a little hug, but you're kind of both hover-handing on each other because you're like, I don't want to seem too needy. But you know what? in retrospective, that's what makes you feel needy. Just put yourself out there. Go in for that deep hug. Reach your hand down onto their butt. If it caresses the inside of the cheek, it might be too deep. But don't be afraid to make mistakes. You can always learn from your mistakes, guys. Good life lessons here. During this full vision cast, Hellion Reaper going in. And the Lings are going to go for the Hellion Reaper. There we go. Oh, nice Hellion Micro, though. Dude, Special's a dickhead. He'll finally lose this. But I feel like he got a better trade than you would expect. He's still getting even trades. So Special making the most of what I thought was an awkward start. Now, he is down 16 workers, and this time the 4th has not been cancelled. So Roaches are on the way. Oh, my. Guys, Cham is playing a Roach style. Now, that is fascinating. Pig, your existential dread is showing. I apologize, guys. What can I say? That is just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so he's going to play the Roach. Is he playing Roach Infester into Hive? You know, I actually think skipping Banelings and going Infestors is like... If you have full vision as well, yeah, that might be the superior way of playing. That could be really cool. Is he going range upgrades, though? Is he going to play Roach Hydra Lurker? Maybe play Roach Hydra Lurker Viper. That could be interesting. I think this is like not that good of a map for it because you don't have that much anti-air coverage, but he's building spores, so he's going to have some spores in the main. He's going to drop creeps so we can move those down to the edge. Put a spore up on this edge would be good. You want to actually just put the spores down here, personally, is what I'd focus on. Zone out the edge. There's no reason to have spores in the main if you're taking this 4th, because you might as well just zone out down here. Roaches, Queens are coming forward. It is 1-1 range upgrades. Cham is going to play a bit of a Cave Bob style, just with a much more efficient opening than Dark would do. But he's going to go into the same composition as Dark does with that style. And like I said, he's a big Dark fan. You can tell by the way he plays. Dark is a great Zerg to learn things from. Ooh, Roaches. Two Roaches for about 4 or 5 Marines. It's an okay trade for Special. Not too bad. You can still see neck and neck in that regard. Very quick 4th base. Bio tank versus Roaches. 6 more drones on the way, and a 5th hatchery. 2 Infestors coming out. Now, the reason you want to get a few Infestors with a Roach style is if they do just have a big clump of bio, it's got much higher damage density than Roaches, but the power of just dropping a fungal in there, it's like a ranged Baneling landing in the middle of their army. Forces them to spread out, to have siege tanks coverage. You don't want to go heavy into Infestors because you can't really engage into a sieged up pre-spread army, but it's really good because it forces them to not just run at you in a big ball. It kind of forces the Terran to respect your zoning control and ability to hang on to space. So more Roaches, Ravages, Infestors being built. Still no Hydrodan or Hive, though, which is a little confusing for me. I guess he just wants to get enough units to control the space. 2-2 upgrades do start. Second factory's on the way. Special here. He's looking for some tradey trades. The Roach Ravager comes forward. Special knows there's no fungal energy yet. Does he actually find a good trade, though? I don't think so. I think these trades are really good for Cham. Cham starts the Hive. Hydroden should go down as well right now. This is a great play for Cham. I think Cham is really looking fantastic right now. And how are you going to survive? You've only got 2 tanks. Only 2 tanks. Special. Put it in your pants, mate. You're about to get overrun. Special sees this army coming, guys. What the hell? Get out of there. Lift that 4th. Hide. Defend. Special, very cocky with his army positioning right now. He seems to think he can defend this 4th. He's massively outnumbered. Bad judging. He's got a Marine drop trying to distract Cham. I can't believe he's confident enough to take this base. I guess he sees that Cham's not reinforcing and he reads into it that he can keep Cham distracted. Special securing that 4th is actually very dangerous, but he manages to do it. High risk, high reward play paying off in a big way. 1 Queen goes down, but they do deal with the Liberator. These Roaches will deal with this as well. More Marines on the left side are going to get caught. I mean, these are individually good trades for Cham, but he needs to get a move on with his transition. He's starting Aspire now. Remember that Cham is very good in the mid game, but he is not a late game guy. And that's why I think Special, especially stylistically as a late game god who can play technical styles, is going to be a bit favored against him. Biles on the tanks would be huge. Big fungal on the Marines. He biles the tanks. Knowing where those tanks are ahead of time is huge. Double counter drop's going to go in. The Queens, if they got some damage on that, would be big. The Roaches are going to have to go back in the main to try and defend. I think Cham may be finding the damage that he's been looking for this whole time. Spore gets a few hits on that, and a lot of Roaches are going back up to defend it. Special's trying to move over here, but I think he's already taken a little bit too much damage. The tanks are starting to fall. Roaches in the main will take out these Marines. There's enough Roaches there. Cham on the front, though. Looks like he might get held, but hey, the tanks are just not sieged, man. And the Roach Ravager is going to be overwhelming. That second factory is going to lose its tech lab. Marine drop in the main, though. Special, as always, being annoying. You can tell Cham doing a few cheeky F2s there, trying to control his army in 2 separate spots at once. Very difficult. Some nice fungals. If he can get rid of these SCVs that have been mining through this whole fight, that would be massive. He's going to kill most of those. One more fungal here could be nice. There's still 2 Marines that keep picking up. Remember, Cham is an F2 god, guys. He is an F2 god, so if you just keep picking up and dropping and picking up and dropping, he doesn't have anti-air. He does struggle to deal with it. Special taking advantage of that now. These guys play every single season in the regionals, so Special knows him very well. And he did just lose. Was that the Spire? Oh, he just lost his Spire. Oh, no. That's really rough for Cham. Now, Cham is still up 60 supply, but he didn't break the third. There's still 75 SCVs. Special can work his way back into this game. He's got 4 tanks, 28 Marines, 2 Marauders. He's like, just survive, 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 survive. The Marines redrop, and once again, the Roaches pulled out of the main. I told you guys. But there's nothing defending this planetary. He's going to have to focus the SCVs. A few of the SCVs going down. Not a good fight for Cham, though. He's overcommitted, I think. The Ravagers come in on the flank. Throw some random biles across. A little messy, but they get the tank. The planetary is losing all of its repairing SCVs. The infestors will go down. Is this worth it, though? Oh my god, Special might be getting back in this game, but no, the planetary does fall. Just enough Roaches to do it. Zerglings being built at home right now. Finally, Roaches are going to go back to defend this, but he just lost his spawning pool, guys. He just lost his spawning pool, his Roachhorn, and his Spire. And once again, he pulls the Roaches back to the front. You can see that F2 habit is deep there for him. Cham, once again, this drop is his nightmare. Special is like, you guys need to kill another 20 drones, all right? You need to tilt Cham off the face of this earth, because I am so deep in Dicktown. But you guys need to find a way to make some magic happen. And Special, he keeps him alive. These 7 Marines, I should say, not 6. Going in, going out, going in, going out. Special, the master of pulling out at the right time. Making sure he gets the base pregnant just the right amount without them finding out his last name. Does not want to pay any of that child support, alimony, anything like that. Ooh, he stays a bit long there. Did leave his wallet at the scene of the crime. And DNA tests will be coming his way in the near future. Marines are going to rotate into the natural there. Bio coming on forward. Special is desperate because he's way behind in this game. But that's a lot of Ravagers. Ravagers very good at holding on. And there are Vipers gathering energy right now. How is this drop still alive? Special is still making it look like it might be possible. He's actually going to kill a bunch of Ravagers here. His tanks. Oh, dude, that's a beautiful tank spready. He's killing a lot of these Ravagers. Blinding Clouds, though, could be big. Okay, he gets a Blinding Cloud on 2 tanks, another one on 3 of the tanks, and I think he's just got enough. I mean, the supply actually tells us a different story. The supply tells us Cham is losing this game. But is he? The Marine drops in the back again! You're kidding me! Oh my god, Special! Oh my god, Special! Dude, how? And he's dropping on the left! There's still 3 Marines left. Unfortunately, he's out of bloody Maphacks. Oh my god, but the attack did get held. The 4th is only now rebuilding. It's not back up. Finally, the Marine drop dies because the Maphacks ran out of juice. That drop killed like 40 Marines and 6 tech structures. There's still no spawning pool. There is no spawning pool. It's just rebuilding now. Plus 3 Rangers on the way. The Spire did get rebuilt. A couple Corruptors would probably be a godsend. And Cham gathering at the front right now. We've got 2 Vipers, 26 Roaches, 7 Ravagers, 71 drones, 77 SCVs, all gathering up. 4th base on the right side is looking sexy. And here we go. Ghost Academy is on the way. Tank gets abducted to the low ground and does get taken out. I think Cham's finally got him here. But dude, I still feel like when Special took his 4th in the face of that attack, that was just trademark Special. I can't survive this attack, but I'm going to kill you with Liberators and drops instead and try to buy myself time in the chaos. And it almost worked for him. Cham, though, with the Vipers, looking pretty good. The Bio chasing him back for now. But I think as Cham, you just keep engaging, abducting the tanks, engaging. The Marine Marauder trying to fight you there. 2-2 versus 3-2. Slight upgrade advantage for the Terran player. There's a random tank in the middle of the map, because why not? Hello? Oh, the killer Blinding Cloud! Oh my god, that is a big Blinding Cloud, a big juicy one. The Roach Ravager takes out the tanks. A few snipes go down. Funneling through the choke point, never the most efficient, but it was very important for him to trade there to keep Special small and low on numbers. On the other hand, Cham, he might have bank, but remember, he doesn't have that many workers up. If he can get on the SCVs, though, that will be critical damage. And indeed, it will be. The SCVs trying to huddle back. They're going to try and mineral walk out of there, potentially. But they are almost all going to go down. The Bio trying to gather up on this base. More Roaches and Ravagers coming in. SCVs are pulled from all sides. The Drilly Boys say, taste my drill! Actually, no, they're just trying to go for the minerals. Never mind. The Marine Marauder tank actually pushes back the Roach Ravager. The SCV's still mining. There's a fourth over there. He's got so many SCVs. Special is fighting like an absolute champion. He's like, you'll never put me in the ground, Cham. You'll never put me in the ground. And Cham's like, can you friggin' die, dude? Seriously. I want you. Can you just get in the ground? Now, for those just tuning in, keep in mind, both players have full vision. This is Special's vision. He can't see the invisible creep tumors, but he can see the entire map, right? Same thing for Cham. He can see the entire map. If the ghost cloak, he won't be able to see them unless he has detection nearby. This is crazy, dude. Cham right now channeling Twitch chat. They're like, this is exactly how I feel playing against Terror. You just can't kill them. Definitely something where it does happen like this sometimes, but Cham is still on a very low tier comp. He hasn't added lurkers or anything. I mean, imagine lurkers. If he gets rid of the tanks and he has some lurkers in here, it'd be game changing. He's going to try and go Great Aspire though, so it's interesting to see that Cham, I think, hates lurkers. I think he hates lurkers at the moment. He's just not a fan. This style where you've got such sick upgrades, it makes perfect sense to go them, but he's not wanting to do it. Viper's coming in for the flanking Blinding Cloud. Parasitic Bomb is actually what I would have gone for. He goes for the tanks, but Special focuses the Viper down before it gets in. And as long as Special keeps luring the Roach Ravager into this choke point, this is an unbreakable tank position. Just pull back, Special, pull back. As long as Special stays back there, I think he's okay. On the other hand, Cham was trying to, of course, just damage the command center and take that down. I think a few roaches running in and harassing those minerals would be good. Special will need to take a 5th base. That's his big problem right now. This base is mining out. This one is going to run out of some of these minerals in a minute. This one's mostly mined out. So he's only on a 1 and a bit bases. Now, Cham does need to take more bases himself. I think another hatchery for him would be rather vital in the next few minutes. He's going to go for a round of Broodlords. But with no infestors to back them up, I'm not sure if broods are the best idea because there's a decent ghost count, 9 ghosts out. It's going to be really hard. I really wanted to see Broodlord versus Ghost. I don't know who wins at that position, but you can see the cost efficiency has actually got back to really close. Remember that Cham was way behind for a bit there, but he's actually gotten the cost efficiency back decent because Roach Ravager is an inefficient comp for breaking the line, but once you get in and they don't have a nice setup, the Roach Ravager can start to tear apart tanks, bio, SCVs. It's a very meaty comp, one of my favorites over the years. Severely underrated. People always say you can't beat bio with Roaches and Ravagers. Well, Ghost do snipe the Ravagers. He picks up some of those Ghosts, pulls back to the tanks, drop in the back, does get shut down there. Ooh, Special, not getting the damage that he was looking for on that one. He's going to go to the left side, drop that, and here we go. We're going to take this base on the right. More Corruptors coming in. Did he make Broodlords yet? Yes, he did. 7 Broodlords are up. I'd love to see him go for a push with those. Special is building Vikings. He's building Ghosts. He's still adding some Widow Mines in here. He's got some tanks sieged up. He wants to try and take this middle base. Cham running around the map with this Roach. He's marauding. He's looking for the openings. There is still a drop up there. And Cham did not really leave anything to defend it. So Cham has got to send a few Roaches to deal with that. And indeed, he will send those guys to try and catch that drop. Another command center finishes at the front. Can Special handle this? He can't really afford Thors, so it's basically just have enough firepower to clear everything on the ground and have your Vikings and your Ghosts deal with the Broods pretty quickly. Ooh, 1, 2, 3 Ghosts. Okay, 2 Ghosts go down. Pulls back into the tanks. The drop in the top left does go over to there. Damn, man. This game's actually good. I mean, Special has resurrected himself. He's landing his main there. He's taking a 5th over there. It's kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. Pretty sick for him. Snipe's trying to go down. Oh, okay. EMP tries to land. I don't think it caught any of the infestors, though. Remember, the tanks will do big friendly fire. Oh, nice. Fungal. He catches the Viking Ghost. If the Corruptors can kill all the Vikings, there's not that much Ghost energy, but there's only 5 Broodlords left, guys. 4 Broodlords. He's getting them sniped. Special trying to jump on top. 3 Broodlords, 2 Broodlords left. Dude, is there enough there? I think this is a good enough fight for Special, maybe? I don't know, man. Oh, he's going to make more Broodlords, but they're right there on the front line. Snipes go down. That's another Corruptor falling. Bile's Arc, can it just zone him out momentarily? Still, the Bio trying to go forward, but I think Special's taking a little bit too much damage. There's no anti-air, though. He has to cancel the Corruptors morphing into the Broods to fight off the Vikings. Remember, Ghost's very good at sniping. Corruptors does snipe down one of those. And right now, you're like, shit, man, I need Queens, I think, as Cham. Also, as Cham, undefended base. This base here is kind of undefended, so that's why he wants to break it. This base is still going strong. He's not really doing any run-bys. Now he's sending a big pack of Roaches around, which is absolutely the right way to do it. He's building Spores in the middle of the map as well. Cham is going to siege him down with Spore, Broodlord, Infestor. That's how you do it. Oh, shit. Cham is like, Special. Dude, I know you're doing a great job surviving. It seems really cool. You know what? I'm actually enjoying just picking you apart and wearing you down, son. The two broodlords there force the tanks to unsiege. The roaches coming in from every side. Oh, good angle. I think he could have committed. He gets a few biles, but he does end up falling back. Here we go. The bio, though. Bio Ghost Viking gets a broodlord. There's only one left. I think Cham has to really just be brave and commit here because he doesn't quite have infestor energy, or he didn't. He was a bit afraid. Now he's got it. I'd love to see him just attack from every side and surround this tank angle. I think he's got such good surface area on the top. Add some guys there as well, and it's going to do pretty well. That last broodlord is causing problems. A big fungal! Oh, an EMP landed on the infestors, but not before another one came in. Roaches come in from all three sides. Cham says, what was that about inefficiency, dickhead? Dickhead pig. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Cham. Because that was a beautiful engagement. Only down 2,000 resources. This has been a crazy game. The Roaches are taking some big tank shots. Those tanks will eventually go down. Corruptors would love to be killing these Maphacks. Anytime you can pick these Maphacks off during the fights is huge. Roaches are on that undefended mineral line. He's finally making pathogen glands, realizing I'm going to be remaking infestors all game, aren't I? This is just not going to end. Special will not go down without a fight. Special here just showing his pedigree. There's one broodlord that would refuse to die. The Marines finally going to gun that down. But it's already done its work 1,000-fold. That broodlord forcing tanks to unsiege, having a good amount of time. Now, Cham, it's time to go wee-wee, mate. Show us your style, Cham. I know you want to go wee-wee. Come on, buddy. Give me that big wee-wee energy. Get the Corruptors, go in the main. I want to see you pee on some production. Just for the fun. You've got to let Special know, man. You've got to let him know that you're winning. You can't just have him realize he's losing. You need to tell him that you're winning. That's what you need to do right now. Cham coming in with his Roach Ravager Corruptor. Does take down the command center. And I do love that he's played a different style where he says, look, as long as I can see what you're doing all game, like Roach Ravager is pretty solid style, man. I do think he got a bit ahead against the Reaper opening at the start and won some of those early fights pretty well. The Roaches defended against the drops. But it's kind of cool to see that he said, you know what, like if there's no surprise factor, the mobility of the Lingbane can't really threaten run-bys, maybe I just play a front-on style and go to the really efficient units, the technical units, the Infestors. Obviously, he won some fights, so he said, I'll try and kill you with Roach Ravager, but add the Broodlords, add the Infestors, Corruptors. He has what we call a spore schlong here in the middle of the map. It's not really protruding that much, but normally you want to try and get that spore schlong real far forward to try and cover your broods against any Vikings. Cham's still up 60 supply. It's not the most efficient units. Lots of Roaches, lots of Ravagers, Infestors are pretty supply efficient, but the Roaches and the Ravagers aren't. And there's only about, what, 4 Broodlords. Enough to kind of screw with the tanks, but there's only 4 tanks. Look at this, Infestors just waiting for the opportunity. Ghosts are going to go for the EMP. Cham. No, they're going to go for the snipes. Double snipe, gets a Broodlord. Nice micro by Special, but he doesn't have that many ghosts. So he can't keep doing that. He's got no Vikings, no Thors. He's got no way of doing it. The Broodlords are like, hey, dickhead, we outrange you. He's going to get another snipe, but that will not one-shot the Broodlord. The Marines come forward. They will not be able to finish that Broodlord. And you can see that Special is between a Broodlord and a Spore Crawler, Ravager, Infestor place. And that's a shit place to be, guys. Oh, the Broodlords are all in the red, but they're not dead. All in the red, but they're not dead. Right now, Special hoping he could get some Red Dead Redemption. But I don't care how good you are with your 6-shooter, your quick draw, or whatever else happens in that cowboy game that I've never played. I like words that rhyme. And I said red. What can I say? I've never played it. I don't know what happens in that game. These Broodlords are killing him! Finish him! Cham's going to take him out, guys. Cham's got it. The Roach Ravager on the bottom. The Roach Ravager Infestor going up there. The Broodlord's taking out the tanks. I mean, Special's done a great job of hanging on in a very stressful scenario. But in the end, Cham overwhelms. We are going to get a game 3 of this full map vision challenge. Heck yeah. This is actually really friggin' exciting, man. Alright, alright, alright. What's up, everybody? We are going to be continuing here. Game number 3 to decide the series and see who can win with full map vision. Specials in the bottom left of Hardwire, Cham in the top right. I'm doing a lot of other challenges today, and I will try different maps, old maps, fun maps, all sorts of stuff. But for this one, I'm just curious to keep it on the maps that these guys know well and have been playing, because it's such a mechanical war, and I feel like if I put them on like a weird map they haven't played in a while, it's Zerg vs Terran. One of them might just like make some screw-ups positionally, and then, you know, it can spiral out of control. I want to give them the best chance to play their A game, and I want to see how are you guys adapting. I'm so fascinated. Like, do we see that Roach style again from Cham? Or does he feel like, oh, I've used it up, it's not going to be good anymore? If he does, is Special going to be crazy enough to take a 4th base so early once again? Or will he camp on 3 base for a bit longer, which is what he should be doing, in my opinion? Also, is Cham going to maybe rush to Broodlords or to Lurkers a bit quicker? Because he's been very, not slow, but he's never rushed it, which I find surprising. Because for me, I thought we'd see players really rushing it, but Cham, like me, he's always been a little bit more like, oh, I want to, you know, I learn from the Koreans, I play aggressively, you know, Mexicans are obviously NA baboons, just like Australians are. Whereas we don't have that EU macro virgin playstyle where we're like, yo, I'm just going to get further ahead and make more tech and rush to late game, you know? So that's going to be really, really interesting. Guys, you know Australia's in the chat. Don't shit talk Australia. What are you doing, dude? Stop trying to get attention, Pigeon dudes. I'm going to time you out. Don't be shit talking Australia. You know he's hanging out in the channel. He's about to play. Don't be shit talking players for no reason to get attention, mate. Australia's 1,000 times the player you'll ever be. Get the fuck out of here, buddy. Mate. Oh my god, he gets another drone kill. Very well done. I think we were all very impressed with Neeb this season. And going into the season, I thought Neeb was going to win the whole season. 3-0ing Cyril on the ladder doesn't, you know, that kind of, it kind of indicates something. Crushing the EPT weekly cup the other day as well was just insane. Last week, Neeb's just been on a tear. He's been very, very good lately. So no big surprise that Neeb dominated the region this season. Ghost Academy. Guys, what the shit? Oh my god, is Special playing Ghost Mech? Guys! We have a bounty per map win in this, which I'm paying the players, as well as money just for showing up and playing. And I think Special, as always, likes being creative and having fun. Now, how do you react if your opponent goes Ghosts? Now, normally, if they go like a Ghost Hellbat pressure, you just kind of try and overwhelm it. He's going to go Roaches, though. Interesting. So Cham is playing Roaches again. No Ling Speed, guys. No Ling Speed. So as Special, you can look across the map. You can see that there's no wobbly hot gas coming out of that spawning pool. This is not even a fart joke, guys. You can actually see the air above the spawning pool is much more wobbly, as if there's like fire in there or something when it is upgrading. So he should be able to know that. He can see the Roach Horn as well. Now Ling Speed starts. So he is actually going to add Ling Speed as Cham, but just much later. Reaper Hellion coming in here as well. And 3rd CC there as well. Okay, so we've got Ghost rallied across the map. Is he just gonna, oh, I guess there's no Ling Speed, so he can just rally Ghost across and try to pick off some of these queens with Snipe. That'd be pretty huge. They're both within one-shot territory. For those who don't know, Snipe does 170 damage after channeling for 1.43 seconds, and yeah, it ignores armor. So a queen only has 175 hit points. You do 5 damage, it gets 1 shot. Roach always gets 1 shot as well, and there's no way to chase him down. That Ghost can just kind of go pop, kill a Roach, no worries. And he's got another 50 energy. He can do it again. Very nicely done. 3rd CC is down. Can go into a more normal style behind this. Ooh, bit of a supply block here for a Special, but only a small one. The depot finishes as I noticed it. Oh, Snipe on the Queen. Very good value. Remember, the Queen, double the mineral cost of a Roach. She doesn't cost a lava, but I think that's totally fine. 11 drones are up on that 3rd. I like this like flexible pressure here from Special, where he's like, yeah, man, what are you going to do? Mass Lings? I'll see the Lings coming. You can't, I'm just going to hang around and keep sniping you. Dude, this is such a clever way of abusing the vision. He's like, the moment Lings pop, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to let you chase, you're never going to be able to chase me down off creep. A Roach off creep is only 3.15 movement speed. A Ghost's faster than that, it's 3.94. I can just walk away at any point. Oh, this is such a great way. So, you know, Cham's like, oh, I'll play Roaches. He even canceled his Ling Speed. He's like, this will be a solid style. Oh, nice Evo block, but their aliens are going ham. Special there, gets a bit randy, goes in, gets 4 drones, forces an Evo trick, but good scramble by Cham to avoid the critical damage. Now the Ghosts, they're thinking about coming forwards across the map one more time. He's killed 4 drones, 3 Roaches, a Queen, a Tumor for 2 Hellions, but most importantly, he's kept the work account pretty similar. Terran's very happy with that, and these Ghosts, they're a renewable resource, man. Look, he's gonna come again. He's like, Snipety snipe snipe. As the moment the roaches turn around or stop chasing him, he just pops a roach. And he's like, and walk away. It's actually such a sick style by Special. The Hellions are going to go around. Roaches are thinking about coming forward. They don't have roach speed though. The Hellions, oh, they're a bit too bruised though. I don't think this is going to pay off. He's got a queen there and 4 slow Zerglings, not the best defensive force. Doesn't have enough Hellions to one-shot the drones though. So yeah, this was a little wasteful for Special. Does lose his Hellions, but he gets 2 drones. It's not the end of the world. That being said, 4th base is up. Cham feels a bit more comfortable now. Roach speed, one upgrades are here. Meanwhile, 4th command center is halfway done. Okay, Special better get building tanks and marines and playing really turtly. I think he's really focused on getting a 4th landed, but I think that opens up too many attack angles. In my mind, he has to put all of his tanks here, 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 and just defend this area and just turtle up. Because otherwise these roaches are going to swarm him. And as cute as the opening was, ghosts are very expensive, and Cham senses it. This tank is building way too late. Special went way too greedy on this 4th base. He's popping a roach. He's popping another roach. I mean, the ghosts are picking off units, but roach speed's going to kick in any moment now. These ghosts have killed 9 units. They need to go home. Get out of there, Special. Go home. Go home. Siege the tanks. Pull the boys as needed. Get out of there, man. Your shields isn't done. Once again, Special showing 0 respect to the Roach Ravager. And I think it's going to get him killed, guys. The bunker is not loaded. The tank is not sieged. There's so much 1-1 Roach Ravager. He pulls back the command center. That is the correct call. This is a game of survival. He also is going to need SCVs to buffer. I think he needs to keep about 10, 15 SCVs out here. If he survives, his army scales much better. Cham is not on a good work account. He doesn't have a follow-up. But remember, guys, what does Maru do whenever he's in this situation? Dies every single time. Special, smarter than Maru, pulls the boys. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. Shields finishes as the fight starts. Oh, Bile's coming down. The Bio Ghost, there's another tank in the back. The SCVs get repairing. They do start repairing the bunker. That's going to tank a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough though? This arc of roaches is absolutely deadly. And I think there's just too many numbers, man. You need to be building that tank count early, or the Roach Ravager can swarm over the top. Special with such a 300 IQ ghost pressure, but he could not go for such a fast 4th. He needed to be using that factory to build tanks the moment he was up against the Roach style. He just didn't appreciate it, and you can understand why. He's like, it's full vision. You're not going to just commit to a Roach attack. But Cham looked across the map and was like, dude, you're being way too greedy. You know, I can see the 4th command center, and I know you've opened ghosts. I can punish that. And Cham actually gets the 2-1 victory. That's friggin' awesome.